in Ottawa.
It's not just how a story is told. It's about whose story it is to tell. It's not just playing what's new. It's setting the stage for what's next. It's not just about the game. It's bringing your game. It's not just trusted news. It's being where it matters because it matters. It's not how Canadian you are. It's who you are in Canada. It's not just one thing. CBC. It's a Canada thing.
Station 11, Emily St. John Mandel's best-selling 2015 novel, eerily predicted the impact of a global pandemic. She talks about her novel, a contender in the 2023 edition of Canada Reads, on the next chapter with Sheila Rogers, after the news.
From CBC News, The World This Hour, I'm Khalil Hassanali. Canada said yesterday it will send 4 more Leopard tanks to Ukraine for a total of 8. Western pledges have been coming for weeks, and today the first tanks arrived. Sarah Larnuk has more from Kyiv.
The arrival of these cats, as some are calling them, is something Ukrainians have been desperately waiting for.
I never thought a year ago that I'm gonna drive this cat.
Volodymyr Klitschko, Ukrainian boxer and brother to Kyiv's mayor Vitaly Klitschko, posted video of a test drive he took in one of the Leopard 2 tanks Germany is sending.
A year of getting our willpower stronger than ever. As strong as this tank.
The first tanks from Europe arrived in Ukraine to mark the anniversary of Russia's invasion. And it comes a month after Poland said they believe they can deliver basic training to Ukrainian soldiers in 5 weeks, meaning deployment of these tanks could happen soon. Exactly how many have actually arrived in Ukraine so far is not being disclosed, but Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said that between 120 and 140 tanks should be in Ukraine by the end of March. Sarah Larnuk for CBC News, Kyiv.
To Montreal. Dozens of members of the city's Russian community marched in support of Ukraine. They said they wanted to make sure Canadians understood not all Russian believes Moscow's propaganda or support Moscow's invasion of its neighbors. Downtown Vancouver was rocked by an explosion and fire last night. Emergency crews were called to the scene of what turned out to be an underground electrical vault fire. 2 people were injured and are reported to be in stable condition. The cause is under investigation. And 1 person is dead and 2 others are missing after a fire ripped through a home on a Pikangikum First Nation in northern Ontario. Cold weather caused mechanical problems with the community's 2 fire trucks, hampering firefighting attempts. Chief Shirley Lynn Keeper says the First Nation's ability to fight fire has not improved since a 2016 blaze which killed a family of 9. She's calling on Ottawa to provide proper fire services. Police in Mississauga, Ontario are calling recent vandalism at Hindu temples hate-motivated, but some of the communities say it's more complicated than that. Lisa Shing explains.
Dozens scrubbing off graffiti on the wall of this Hindu temple. Last week, this mandir in Mississauga, Ontario was spray painted with "Down with India." Rovnath Sharma is the spiritual leader there.
It has started bringing tremendous pain, and it's also protecting hate to the Hindu community.
This is the latest in a series of similar incidents. Police believe at least 2 are linked. One of the messages references Khalistan, a separatist movement that seeks to establish a Sikh homeland in northern India's Punjab region. That leads some to question the motive behind the vandalism.
There's some in the community that believe that these acts have been orchestrated, purposely designed to create conflict between communities. We condemn the vandalism of any place of worship.
The Khalistan movement has created tension in the diaspora as divisive referendums have been held around the world, including in Peel region, while an Indian government pushes a Hindu nationalist agenda. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Mississauga, Ontario.
A severe winter storm is walloping the western U.S. and leaving piles of snow in places like Los Angeles, which aren't used to it.
It's snowing! It's my first time.
Is it nice out here?
Really fun.
But while the kids may love it, the weather is causing some serious problems problems. The slick conditions are causing dangerous conditions on the roads.
And I went off into the ravine and had to get pulled out.
And power outages have left many Southern Californians without light or heat.
There's no heat. The house is really, really cold.
More snow and strong winds are expected, but forecasters say the risk of flooding has passed. And that's the world this hour. I'm Khalil Hassanali.
Here's the weather for the National Capital Region. Periods of light snow with a high of -11, feeling like -14 this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies this evening and becoming cloudy overnight. The low -17, which will feel like -21 with the wind chill. Tomorrow flurries with a high of 0. At night clear, a low of -15. On Monday, increasing cloudiness with a high of -5.
The next chapter.
With Sheila Rogers.
When you're in a war, there's a very clear enemy. But when you're in a pandemic, the enemy is the contagion. But the enemy is also the way people around you are behaving.
And I thought that was just brilliant.
The next chapter.
CBC Radio 1
and Sirius XM.
The backdrop for Emily St. John Mandel's novel Station 11 is the aftermath of a global pandemic. It came out 9 years ago, and reading it at the time, the idea of a global pandemic sounded like speculative fiction. That was then. Station 11 and its powerful depiction of a post-pandemic world resonates in a new way now. It's in the running for Canada Reads 2023, and Emily St. John Mandel opens our program today. Ever since A Journal of the Plague Year was published in 1722, pandemics and plagues have endured as storylines in fiction. Another reliable plot twist is switching babies at birth. Charlene Carr gives that narrative an unnerving update in Hold My Girl. The switch happens at an IVF clinic. It's been called an emotional thriller, and Charlene shares what inspired her novel in half an hour from now. To close today, the travel writer Heather Greenwood Davis brings us 3 recommendations for midwinter mind traveling. I'm Sheila Rogers. Welcome to the next chapter. When I talked with Emily St. John Mandel about Station 11 back in 2015, she and her novel were having a breakout moment. Station 11 had been nominated for the National Book Award in the United States, and it landed on many top 10 and best of lists. Critics praised its ambitious and absorbing story of a deadly flu ripping through the world and causing the fall of civilization. This was 5 years before the non-fictional pandemic shut down the world. There are events in Station 11 that have a chilling familiarity for us now, but Emily's version of a pandemic takes it further. Technological wonders are wiped out. The internet, smartphones, the power grid, gone. There are no pharmaceuticals, no antibiotics that could save lives. Her characters are left with very little, and yet there's a feeling of hope and tenderness about all the beauty, innovation, and creativity in the world that we take for granted. Station 11 is one of the 5 books up for Canada Reads 2023, and Emily St. John Mandel joins me now from New York City. Emily, congratulations on the Canada Reads nod.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy about it.
I'm glad you're happy, and I wish you all the best. I'm wishing all the other authors all the best, too. I want to tell you
of course.
Since you published Station 11, it's been adapted for TV, you've published other novels, you had a child, there was a global pandemic, and Station 11 is on the Canada Reads shortlist. What were your hopes for the novel when you were writing it?
You know, it's funny. For context, for all of your listeners, aside from my mom, who might not have been following my career very closely, I published 3 novels before Station 11 with very small presses in Canada and in the U.S. And what that can mean in practical terms is pretty low sales, if we're being blunt here. It felt like an incredible honor to get to publish my work. At the same time, I was an administrative assistant through all those novels at a university in New York City, and my expectation was that that would be a permanent condition, that I would just always have a day job and write novels and, publish them and hope more people would read them. When I wrote Station 11, I felt like maybe I had a somewhat more commercial premise, and I took the opportunity to sell that novel to bigger publishing houses, HarperCollins Canada, and then Knopf in the US and Picador in the UK. So my